Well, it is time to check in with Keith Bilbrey. Now, we're doing this for a special reason, because you guys send questions to me. You've been leaving them for me in the comments and in our my2cents@tbn.tv mailbox. Keith loves this. He loves it. He picks out, I think, some of the most challenging questions that we get sent. So we'll see what he's got over there tonight. Keith, take it away.
Okay. Andrea D. So all of you will not be accepting the vaccine, which is available thanks to President Biden, or the stimulus check provided by the Democrats, right? Right?
Wow, Andrea, last time I checked, we have a vaccine because President Trump created Operation Warp Speed. There has never been a vaccine brought to the market in less than 4 years. Most of them are between 5 and 20. This one came to us in 10 months, despite all the people who laughed at President Trump and said there is not a way in the world we'd have the vaccine by then. So I'm not sure what you're even saying, because it just doesn't go with reality. Clearly, you're a Democrat. There you go.
Well, Tom in Maryland for Virginia, you said sarcastically that even those on death row and pedophiles will receive the stimulus money. All those in prison at this time need money. Their families are suffering financially. Also, you want to put a label of pedophile on anyone who made a bad one-time choice but will not reoffend with that kind of crime. All are equal sinners in God's eyes.
You know, I don't disagree that everybody is a sinner in God's eyes. Here's what I disagree with. You make the assumption that a pedophile is only going to do that one time. Most studies indicate that a person who is genuinely a pedophile will do that over and over and over. It becomes a pattern. My point was not to pick on pedophiles. My point was to say that in the stimulus bill, taxpayer money from hardworking people is going to be given to people who have committed crimes against those tax-paying people. And maybe you think they deserve a check while they're sitting in prison. I don't think that we ought to be giving money from people who are working, taking it away from them, adding a debt on your grandkids, and handing it to people who have broken our laws and are in prison, not because they sang too loud in church last Sunday, but because they violated the basic laws of our country and got themselves in trouble. So, no, I don't think prisoners of any kind ought to be getting money from the taxpayers in the form of a stimulus check. I think they ought to serve their time, and then when they get out, get a job, maybe they get a stimulus check then.
Well, Neil from Florida, I watch your show from time to time and enjoy it. What I don't care for is your one-sided political views. Why you think that everyone who might be watching your show is a right-wing conservative boggles my mind. I thought you were an entertainment show. I guess I was mistaken.
Well, we are a variety show, which means that we have a lot of stuff. You know, we have comedians, we have magicians, we have music, we have serious guests who are authors with wonderful topics. We have political guests. I'd like to have more guests who are left of me. We just have a hard time getting them to come on. Now, when you say that I'm one-sided politically, yeah, that's kind of the way it works. Most of us are not walking down the center of the highway. You get run over by both sides. So I don't know that there's any surprise. I ran for office repeatedly. I held office. I've been very clear about my views. I'm unapologetically a conservative. I'm pro-life. I believe in lower taxes, more local government, more liberty, more freedom. Those are some things I believe. Now, hosting a show doesn't make me believe those things less. I'm more than happy to have people with a different point of view on, but I'm not going to change my point of view unless they're really, really good and can convince me. By the way, when that happens, that's not a political guest. They really are magicians to make me change that much.
Well, Larry from North Carolina, you said recently that only 9% of the stimulus package goes to COVID relief. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget reports that 85% of the stimulus bill is directly related to COVID relief. There's plenty going on elsewhere that shouldn't be, but it's a lot less than 91% of the budget, as you suggested. I just say all of this to say when leaders give misleading information, it compromises the conservative agenda. We have to accurately report the facts.
Well, let me give you a fact. I looked on the website for the Committee for a Responsible Budget. I never could find, and I looked diligently to see what did they ever say that indicated that 91% or that the bulk of the money went to COVID relief? I couldn't find it. But I have heard repeatedly from members of Congress who read the bill, who voted either for or against it. I've heard from a number of people who analyzed the bill. I've read through most of the bill, and the best I can see, about 9% of that bill actually was directly related to dealing with COVID. 91% was all sorts of stuff, mostly bailing out reckless, irresponsible blue states who have spent money they didn't have, and now they want the rest of the people of America to bail out their stupidity. And I think that's a dumb thing to do with all of our money. So if you can find that part on that website, please send it to me. And if you can show me where that committee said that the bulk of the money really did go to COVID relief, I'd love to correct myself. I'm not going to hold a slot in next week's show to do it, however, because I don't think I'm going to have to. But be sure to leave your questions, your comments, or even your vitriol. That means your anger in the comments below. Or you can send them to my2cents@tbn.tv. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, then subscribe, and hit the notification bell below. Now, if you didn't like it, you ought to find a Ben Shapiro video to detox you with more facts.